guys, Cheers with M here, and welcome back to the podcast. It has been a while, but we're back. We're back with weekly episodes and ended series episodes, which are on the shorter side, and the end of series will feature some questionnaires, but mainly taken from the series, not an overall. Anyways, but yeah, so I'm excited to be back. Sorry about the hiatus I kind of took. School was really busy right at the end of the semester with finals, and then school ended and I started that same exact week. Have been working full-time pretty much for the last couple weeks, which just have been really busy, but I'm so glad to be back. And I feel like this is like the perfect time with how the team's going to make my return. So we have our main 3 topics tonight. We have the season, injuries, and like Barger, and then the questionnaire. A little bit on the shorter side today, I think, but let's jump into it. So starting off, is the season over? No, I do not think so. The amount of people I have that come into my life and ask me this on a daily basis is insane. No, I do not think it's over. I do not think we are anywhere close to being over. I firmly believe it can take one big moment to like boom a team's back on track, or like send them spiraling. Like Ponce getting hurt sent us spiraling, and Kirk and Barcher, those are 3 big injuries that set the teams, like basically what happened in April. I feel like came from some of those injuries, especially the Kirk one in the White Sox series. No, like if we look back to last season's record, I believe we were 20-20 on the 11th, like at the end of that day. So we're a little worse off right now, but also we have definitely played more games than we did then. So I don't see how we cannot compare it to last season at all right now, because look at the turnaround they did. Look at the run they went on. It might not match that, but I definitely firmly believe it can take one big moment to affect the team. Let's look back to last year, that series in Texas where we didn't score very much. I don't remember how many games we actually won of that, but I remember the game 3, we nobody had scored. Bo pinch hits that go-ahead 2-run home run or solo shot. I believe it was a 2-run home run. And that's the big moment that got that team going, and they turned the season around in May, like kind of end of May. That's when the really turning point happened, and then they carried it. They just kept going. But I firmly believe like they have that one big moment, and it is going to get this team going. Now, I have a moment that I definitely think it could be it, as far as just walk-off grand slam. When I tell you, watching that Tampa series killed me. Like the first game, I didn't get to watch because I was working, but I followed it. And watching Gausman have one of his worst starts of the season, and I think it probably will be his worst one, hurt. And I'm like, we're already struggling leaving that Angels series, like the 3rd game. And this is how it's going to start. And then like they tried to come back, and it was like final. I think it was 8-3. Like they 8-5, sorry. And they tried. And you're like, hey, they're showing positive signs here. But still, they're still really struggling, because the only one who scored those 5 runs was Jimenez on the 2 home runs. So then you're starting to question again, like, what the hell's going on with this team? Where's the 2025 Blue Jays that we all know, love, and miss right now? And then we go into game 2 with Coburn, and like same thing, doesn't have a great start. We're down by 5. I had to think about it. Oh my goodness. And we come back and tie it, and you're like, okay, where did this come from? Like, you're starting to feel like you're reliving last year, but at the same time, you're like, okay, is it just gonna be this one game, and then they're gonna lose 5 straight again? And the extras in that game sucked. They sucked. We all know they sucked. Like, they almost came back, and there was just not good at bats later in that game. And that's what I kind of feel like has been happening a lot. There hasn't always been some great at bats. There's been some poor defense. There's been some poor pitching that are no longer on the team, which we'll go over on the injury side. But there's definitely been moments that have affected this team's ability to win. So then, like, when we go into game 3 of the Tampa series, and it's Cease, you feel so confident with Cease on the mat. And the fact he had a scoreless first inning, which was the first time And I think in any of the Tampa Bay games, I'm not positive if any, but in that the 3-game Tampa Bay homestand, and you're like, hey, it feels positive, and then like you get to the top of the 7th, and Tampa Bay scores on a stupid bloop single, and all we had done so far was ground into double plays. You feel just frustrated, so frustrated. And I remember, I'm one of those people, I will shit talk the entire team, like, oh, I'll like shit talk this, shit talk that, just because I can. I don't actually mean half of it. I'm just one of those people. I'm a shit talker, but like I don't say anything hurtful. And you're like, you watch it, and then I was shit talking, and they tied it up, and like a bunch of my live people are like, where they come in like, were you shit talking because they score? It's like the running joke is now every time you shit talk, they score, and you're just like, okay, like, we didn't score on the bottom of 7th. There was that great shot of Ernie Clement looking so defeated at second base, and it hurts to see. And you're just like, are we done? Like, is this a sign that the season's over? That's honestly what I think was going through my head at that moment in time. At the end of the 7th, when we leave those 2-man on, Cease pitched beautifully, and then you're like, okay. We come to tie it in the 8th, and then we have a scoreless 9th, obviously. We get it to the 10th. Hoffman comes in. I want to say I knew what Simpson was going to score. Before they said Hoffman was pitching, I'm like, Simpson is going to score. He's one of those guys, he gets in the guy's head, he's fast. He was going to score no matter what happened. Sure enough, he scored, and then that other run scored, and you're like, great, it's the game where we came back 5 runs, it's it all over again. And that's honestly what it felt like. And you feel so defeated. I feel like as fans, and you could see on the players, they just looked so defeated. Especially like with the first 2 games had gone, you could tell their frustration, and they looked defeated on their faces. Especially Erndog. There's some great shots of Erndog in that game of him looking very sad at second. And you had to wonder, like, okay, here we go. I'm like, hey, you know what? Gonna be positive going into this. We get, obviously, Springer was on. You get Vladdy gets on. You're like, hey. Then, like, as soon as Okamoto got on and Varsho came in, I tell you, I was like, whoa. Because I thought if we had a chance of winning it, it was going to be either Vladdy or Okamoto. I am not going to lie. I thought it was going to be one of those two. I did not think it was going to be Varsho of all the heroes. And, like, even Varsho's at bat was a little frustrating because we saw him swing at strike 1. Strike 2 was very clearly had he done the tap. It would have been overturned to a ball. He clearly opted not to challenge. So you're like, I feel a little frustrated in the moment. You're down by 2. Like, why not get another ball and just, you know what I mean? So then you watch him foul it off. He gets a 2 count. And you're just like, this is where they've been getting with that high fastball. And you're like, hey, well, you're like, just feeling frustrated inside. But, like, as a huge Varsho fan, I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, I need something here to prove against the haters. Because I want to say Varsho is one of the most hated players online. And it kills me because he's one of my favorite. And, like, the whole Ordinary controversy, which I do want to talk about, actually. Don't get me started on that. Like, crazy. So, like, when he walked it off was incredible. I screamed, jumped, yelling. I yelled at my mom. Like, it was crazy. That energy, it felt exactly like that home run Bo hit last year in Texas. And I honestly firmly believe that this could be the moment that is going to kickstart this team, the offense. It is going to help bring smiles back to their faces. Like, this team does well when they are having fun, especially when Vladdy's having fun. I honestly feel like this could be the moment that gets them rolling and turns them back into the team we know they can be and love. Don't get me wrong, I still love them right now, and I will always cheer and love them, but y'all know what I mean. Like, the team that wins, the team that goes up, especially, like, we have this series in Detroit this weekend, and then we're going into a Bronx. What a time to, like, heat up and go through, especially when we're about to have a rematch of the division series. But yeah, overall sum it up, I do not think the season's over, nowhere close to it. I also want to bring up the fact, especially with the Dodgers recently, this stat is a day old, so this does not include whatever happened in today's game. They started the season 15-4. The Dodgers are 9-14 since. Like, look how fast that can change. Especially, like, also Cincinnati started 20-11 and they're now 2-9 in May. So, like, even the Yankees here, the other day, they were shut out with 1 hit and were 3-6 over their last 9 games. A season can change like that. Literally, you could snap your fingers. You could be first place in the division or to last. That's why I don't think it's over. This team can make a push and can play. They can play better for sure. And they can prove they're still the team from last year, even with the different players, different staff, and all that. No, the season is not over. It's not panic. Not over. We will know whether or not it's over at the end of July when the trade deadline comes around. Ask me then, okay? But for now, we are not over. We're still in this. And I think that Varsho Grand Slam is going to fucking spark this team. It is going to give them the energy they need until Kirk, Barger, Bieber, all of them come back. Lucas, now we are kind of, speaking of those guys, I have some injury updates on some of them. Scherzer, the last I heard, he got a cortisone shot and was not going to pitch for 5 days. We haven't really heard anything about it since, so I kind of expect to hear something when they're in Detroit in one of their pregame meetings with Snyder. And I think, I don't know, my guess he'll probably start throwing once he's feeling better. Who knows if he'll actually come back. Roster move we had the other day, Lauer's gone, so I do have a kind of theory with Lauer gone. I think Spencer Miles. Yeah, Miles will kind of be like the 5th starter to some extent, kind of like a bit of a bullpen mix, maybe him and Yariel Rodriguez. I think they'll be kind of be a tandem duo for a little bit. But after how Lauer performed in the Angels series, I was not shocked when he got DFA'd. Because when everybody else puts up zeros other than Rogers, who got charged 1 run and you do 6, there's definitely an error there. And I know we did not score well enough in that game. He also did not give us a chance. Like, I firmly believe when you're down by so much, there hits a point you're like, you are trying to do too much at the plate to come back. A little update on Barger, who played 1 game and then went back on the IL, which killed me. Oh my god, that killed me inside. That hurt my soul a lot when that happened. So a little bit on Barger, he had a cortisone shot in his elbow. No baseball, like no throwing or hitting for 3 to 4 days. And then he could kind of start, so that would put us getting an update on him before the game Friday in Detroit, which is, well, that's the day this will be posted, is Friday, so before today's game. And I honestly do not think he'll be out long. Like, when you read about it, like, it just being, like, minor inflammation and kind of thing, and just, like, kind of sounds more like joint soreness. I don't think he'll be out long. I firmly believe he'll be kind of right around the minimum 10 days, maybe day after, here, there, but I think he will be back sooner than we know it. And I still think, even though, yeah, he came back for 1 game, went back on the IL, which I definitely feel like felt very, defeating for the guys in the clubhouse. I do think him coming back will also kind of help the spark, and I'm really excited to see him back. Our little update on Bieber. Early next week, he will throw his second live BP session. It sounds like he'll do about 2 innings. And depending on how that goes, it sounds like he'll either get into games or do 1 more, kind of see how he feels. But it sounds like he's only a couple weeks away. My guess would be 3 to 4. So, like, I think, honestly, he'll be back, like, first week of June to middle to, like, he'll be back sometime in June. Like, I say first week at the earliest, in my opinion. Just from, like, what the reporters are saying, from John, the way the broadcast has talked about him. He definitely still is a couple weeks away. And I definitely think we could, like, work something with Miles and kind of thing. Maybe one of the guys come up from AAA as a starter until he gets back. But we definitely need him back now, especially the fact of him from having, like, 8 starting pitchers to, like, 4. Yeah, Savage has been incredible since coming back. He's got all of them have been incredible. Corbin, like, love it. Barrios, the miracle. Barrios. So the last they had, there was still no update on him. They're working through things with the specialist he went on Tuesday. I personally think his season is done. I think he needs surgery. The fact they said Monday, the fact they said last Friday in Tampa, he had gone for imaging. They wanted to discuss it with like their doctors, so like the team ones. And then they got announced he was going to see a specialist on Tuesday. They'd know more by like end of Tuesday night. And the fact it's now Thursday that I'm filming this, and they said on Wednesday there's still no news and they're still discussing things, makes me think his season is done. The fact it has almost been a week and you basically have no comment, he's not throwing, he's not doing anything, he's completely shut down, it honestly makes me think he is done for this season. It's like the Ponce injury kind of thing. Like, they were kind of like, oh, you gotta see a specialist. As soon as you mention seeing a specialist, you know they need surgery or something else is wrong. And I think he's done. Like, that's my firm belief that he is done for the season, which is unfortunate. But I'd rather see him get healthy than hurt himself. There was an update about Garcia. I think he's still doing innings down there. I'm not sure. I cannot remember and I cannot find it. I remember reading about it and I cannot find anything about Garcia. So it's just unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Our little update on Kirky. So the last I heard, which was earlier this week, he was still on track to return around the 6-week mark, which would put him like the 6th week to the exact date of his surgery, according to like when you say he got it on April 7th, is the 19th. That's exactly the 6-week mark. So if it sounds like, I'm sure we'll get an update on him in the next couple of days. As long as everything's progressing well, he could be back like around the 19th, 20th. I don't know if maybe that means he's in New Buffalo catching a couple games and then up to the majors, but it kind of sounds like Kirk is not that far away, because like the 19th is less than a week away. So who exactly knows? I'm really hoping we get an update on him tomorrow, because I would love an update on Kirk, especially so my cousin, she'll be 85 in July. And Kirk is her favorite player right now. And I got her Kirk jersey for Christmas. We're going on the 27th. Even if he's like not in the starting lineup, just for him to be back would mean so much to me. Because if he's not back, I will be taking her to another game. And like, it's easier now when people are still in school. She's older and hard. It's a little harder for her to get around now. I need Kirk back because we bought these tickets in like February before Kirk got hurt. So it's March. It was in March, but so it sucks. But I'm hoping Kirk's back soon. He is going to spark. And the big dilemma around Kirk and catching, we need his framing skills, even with that ABS system, are still going to be unmatched. Because even I've kind of noticed as like a couple weeks have gone on, people have been a lot more conservative with their challenges, especially our Blue Jays, other than maybe a game or two. So I'm really excited to have Kirk back. And yeah, that's it for injury. Oh, Nathan Lucas, the last I heard, he was like, I don't think he was not going to be on long. I think he was maybe starting to do some running and stuff, hitting like minor stuff. Like he's doing like the same kind of rehab Barger was doing. But it sounds like they're all like, it sounds like like they're all going to start like coming back one after another in some order, shape, or form. But I feel like, especially once Kirk's back, that's going to help the team. Barger, Kirk, Lucas, once all these guys come back and they are healthy, then we know what this team can actually do. I feel like we are comparing this team to last year's team, and last year's team was almost just as bad, and that did not account injuries. We had healthy guys. So I really feel like this as a whole has not been a good aspect or look into how the team is. Springer's still clearly running with a broken toe, because the way he runs to first, sometimes you're like, dude's still hurt. But yeah, it looks like we're definitely going to the more positive side now of the players, and I'm so excited about that. But anyway, so that's it for our injury update, which it's actually gotten shorter from all the guys that have been hurt. Now for my favorite part of the podcast is y'all's questions. So I don't have any names because this was all anonymous. So the first question that got submitted was, do you think Cease will win the Cy Young? I don't know if he'll win it, but he is 100% Cy Young material. And that's not even a question. He is now the first pitcher in the American League to 75 strikeouts. He leads all of them. And like his last 3 starts, the Jays have won. And he's pitched 7 or more innings. I definitely firmly believe he will be in the top 5 voting. And if he continues to go like this the whole season, I definitely strongly see a chance of him winning it. If not, he will be robbed. Because the way he is pitching is absolutely incredible. And I love watching him pitch. He's like one of my favorite to watch pitch aside from Gausman. And Gausman pitches very similar to him in like some way, shape, like in some ways, like with the strikeout count on good days. Watching those two pitch is incredible, and I love it. Those two, like, I like now how they split them up a day, because now, like, even with Corbin between them, it's so crazy to watch hitters struggle. Oh, question, when do I think Kirk will be back? I kind of think he'll be back either late next week, depending on, like, how he's feeling and if they want him in AAA, to, like, early the next week. I definitely think he'll be back within, like, the next 2 weeks, and I hope to God he is. This is another question. Do you think they will call up some other players? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. The only reason I could see us calling up another guy is like a pitcher. Like I could definitely like see us calling up another pitcher after like the kind of bullpen day kind of thing, just to get like a fresh arm up. That's really the only reason I could see to calling up another guy. For like the hitters, no, I don't think so. If anything, once guys start returning, we'll probably see players get sent back down, if anything. But yeah, as I said, like the only real way I could see guys getting called up is like a fresh arm in the bullpen, or God forbid somebody else gets hurt. Like knock on wood, nobody else gets hurt. Does Heineman get traded with Davis for a starting pitcher? Oh, that's an interesting. I like that question. So, no. I know a lot of us are calling for Heineman to get DFA'd because I don't believe he can I don't think he can get sent down to AAA. Jesus, I can't speak. I'm not positive on that. The only reason why I don't see us trading Heineman is we lose a lot of our catching depth. God forbid Kirk gets hurt again, Venezuela or him. There's not much depth down there in Buffalo via catching. Like, I know we acquired that other ones, it definitely helps. But compared to some other teams, we do not have a lot of depth down there. And I think trading Heineman away or DFAing him will be a mistake. Like, if we can send him down, okay, perfect. If that, like, I know Venezuela's been doing really well up here. Or if, like, I do not agree for DFAing him. Could I see us potentially trading Davis? I could. I honestly could. I love Davis, and he is a huge part of this team, but that's, like, the sad reality. Guys are going to get traded, and they are going to leave, and I could see the possibility of that happening, depending on the circumstances. And there's a lot to go into that. Like, what are we getting back? What are we giving up? And, like, he does have a power bat when he is hitting, so we would be giving up that power. So I would really be sad to see him go. If it comes to it, does Valenzuela stay up? I honestly think it's if Heineman can get sent down. Like, I'm a little split on this, as much as I'm not loving Heineman, and it depends on, like, my big thing is, okay, when Kirk comes back, how much is he catching? Like, is he going to be 2 out of every 3 days like Valenzuela's been doing, or is he going to be like how Heineman's been doing, like 1 every 3 games, because like he still needs time to come back? So I say, I'm split on this, as I said. If Kirk is how Heineman is now, yes, he deserves to stay up. This kid has proven himself. His bat's been getting better. It took a little time, and they're still clearly working on it. But I definitely do believe he should stay up. He deserves to. However, though, if Kirk will be like every 2 weeks, like if Kirk will be doing 90% of the catching and Heineman's back to being the backup still, then I say we send him down. Just because if we send him down, he'd be the starter down in Buffalo. He can get a lot more experience and get a lot more at-bats in, which will help him. And I definitely think that would help him be a more polished catcher overall. He's a great catcher, like, don't get me wrong. That's why I'm kind of split. Like, it kind of depends on, like, where Kirk is at when he comes back, that I think will really affect the catchers. Like, if Kirk will be doing a lot more, yeah, send Valenzuela down. But if he is not, because he still needs a little bit of time, keep him up here, and if possible, send Heineman down to Buffalo, which I know a lot of people won't agree with, but that's where I'm like, I want to say I'm split on it. I really am, because it kind of depends on Kirk, Valenzuela, Heineman. Like, there's a lot going on there, and you don't want to see a catcher get affected by a bad move, and you don't want to lose Heineman because we want to have depth down in AAA. I touched on this earlier, but do you think that walk-off is a turning point in the season? Yes, 100% I do. That was an incredible walk-off. I am not over that. I've watched that shit so many times, and I still get chills. Yes, 100% I do. I'm loving the Varsho walk-off, and like the doubters online were like silent after he hit that shit. Absolutely incredible. And our final question of the podcast today is, what is wrong with Vladdy right now, do you think? I don't know. I think he's struggling to get his swing mechanics under how he wants them to be. And then I think he's trying to do too much at the plate at the same time, which is not helping. It's like when you're not getting the hits you want, you're trying to do too much, that kind of thing. And I think him and Popkins, as we saw on the broadcast yesterday, they're definitely working on it. We saw them out on the cages on the field, taking BP, not in the cages. So I definitely think they are working on it. And yeah, I think he'll come. And I still could see him having a 30-plus home run season. It doesn't take a lot to get him going. And I know Vladdy likes the warm weather. So once that warm weather really moves in it, I think it'll help him. But I honestly think there's something in his swing mechanics that's not going through working how they want it to, and then he's trying to do too much at the plate, which is not helping. And I feel like that's just a tandem for bad news, which is what has been happening. Yeah. Thank you for all of you who submitted questions. I appreciate them. I loved all of them, actually. Make me want to talk more. I could talk for hours on this team. And yeah. Thank you for coming back to my podcast. I know I did take a hiatus. I'm so excited to be back. Tune in hopefully Sunday for an episode on the Detroit series. We'll see. And yeah, thank you all for listening. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if y'all want to submit questions for the next episode, comment them down below. I'll go through and I will take any questions y'all want. Comment them down below. Or if y'all want to head over to my TikTok, Jace with M, it's the same, it's over here. I post a story that day and y'all can submit your comments there. Anyways, have a good day, everyone, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let's go, Blue Jays. We got this. Let's make... Blue Jays, we got this. I don't want to make the push. I don't... Let this be the turnaround of the season. Varsho Grand Slam. That's how I'm leaving this. My reaction was priceless. If you all want to go see that, go check out my TikTok page. Anyways, let's go, Blue Jays. Have a good day, everybody. I'll see you after the Detroit series.